Hello guys. Okay, so let's get started. Let's write some code. So first, let me clear this, zoom out so you can see my screen and see what I'm typing. Okay, branch out. We are on the main branch and we don't want to be doing this on the main branch. So alright. So first, we need to create a component. This is the folder structure of the portfolio website. It's a Next.js application. So I'm using React. We have just two pages like I told you earlier. This is the About Me page and this is the landing page. This is the main landing page. It should be in the root of the app folder. In the root of the app directory, there is a page that controls the application itself. This is the landing page for the application. So we are building components, and the component we are building is for the About Us. It's for the me. So I'm gonna create we are creating a search engine result page. So the project is built with TypeScript. I have an extension that does this for me. Okay. So first I would like to declare the types, the data that we are going to be passing into our application. So I'm passing anchor element. Remember, it's a modal window. We are opening a modal window to display the results. So I'll pass an anchor element that tells you the position of this modal window relative to the parent. I'll pass a data and then close event handler. So we need to let the component know about our props. However, this props is not defined yet, so let's go ahead and define our props. The anchor element, the type for the anchor element is HTML button element, and it can also be null. Okay, our close handler, it's just a function and it does not return anything. And the third one, our data. So the type is blog and it's an array of blog or an empty array. So this is fine now. I'm going to be using MUI's popover. So I'll import popover from MUI. Close our imports. Okay. The popover from MUI is missing some mandatory required properties or attributes. First one is the ID. We need to pass an ID. So this is a search bar. Search results. Alright, so we need to specify open. This is a boolean. This takes a boolean. Alright, so let's cast the anchor element to this boolean. So we do this. We cast the anchor element return to this boolean. So this triggers open for. So this triggers open event handler for the popover. Okay. The next thing we need to do is to put the anchor element itself. Okay. And then the next thing we need to do is to position the origin of our anchor element. So this is going to take two properties. We want to position it vertically to the bottom, and then we want to position it horizontal center. Okay. Now we need to transform this, because it's a big modal window, we need to transform it to fill at least 2/3 of our page. So I'm going to set transform origin. So I'm going to set transform origin, set vertical to top, and I'll set horizontal to center. You guessed right. Alright. So inside our popover, we are just going to display a div that shows our result. For now, let's just put a placeholder, search results. We'll come back to this later and populate it with data and display result inside this div. Alright, so we'll be displaying the result inside this div. Now, this will be displayed or opened from our header function. So if you check the application itself, this is the text field. This is the input text field on our search bar. And this is the icon. I would like to change the icon to something else. I don't want to use this SVG. So let's change it to MUI icon. There is a search icon for MUI. Okay. So this theme is auto switching from dark to light. I'm going to set the color to primary. So the icon will be visible on both dark theme and light theme. Okay. Now that we have this, we need to undo the text that is typed inside our input field, and then we need to open our modal when this button is clicked. Alright, so to achieve this, let me set the value to a variable that we are going to be storing in the local state. And then we need onChange handler. So we need to undo the onChange event. Then we do undo search input, undo search input change. Always use names that are easy to read and understand, that other developers who come along to edit or maintain your code can easily understand. So for our button as well, we need to undo the onClick, undo search click. So we are going to write this and make this squiggly red line go away. So let's start with that. So we need to store this in a state, in a local state. So I'm going to create a React hook for that. These are existing functions in the application. So we are creating a new one to handle this. Set search text. It's a use state as well. And the type is string. It's not going to be null. It will always be a string because we don't want that React warning of changing from a controlled input to an uncontrolled input. So default value will be this. The next one will be search input change. So this is a function. So we need to create a function for our search input change. Okay, so it takes an event, and the type for this event is it's a mouse event. Yeah, mouse events and HTML button elements. Okay, so we are gonna set search text with the e.target.value HTML input element. So we are using the wrong type. This should be HTML input element because mouse event does not have target.value. Oh, button element. It's a change event. So now we have value. Okay, so the next one, we need to undo search click. Sorry. So when the user clicks the search button, what should happen? Search click 2 takes an event, and the type of event for this is a mouse event. Okay. HTML button element, it's a button. Our search click is a button. So we have already stored this in a search text. First thing we need to check is user can click the button while the search text is empty. So to prevent calling our function or performing action on empty search text and returning empty result set when nothing is happening, we need to search and we need to check first that this search text is not empty. So I'm going to put a condition now to check for that search text dot length. Okay, so I don't think the optional chaining is necessary because this will always be a string. Dot length is greater than 2. At least 2 characters must be typed before we can initiate a search. So what do? Set anchor, set search anchor. We don't have that yet. Search anchor to our, we set the targets to our current event. Alright, so let's define the search anchor. We are storing this in a state as well, so we'll do this. Search anchor use state. And what's the type of our search anchor? HTML button element. This can be null. So the default value will be null. So we set the default value to null. Okay, let's go back to our code. So we handle this. So there's an action to perform when this happens. So what do we want to do? We call the search engine. So we've not written the search engine yet, so I'll just keep this as a to-do or a placeholder. And then we map the docs, return from search engine. So those are the two things the search engine will be doing for us. Now, we also need to store the result returned from search engine in our global state. So let's create another hook to this. So we need to set the result returned from search engine and store that in a state as well. So let's create another hook to store this. Cons results, set results. Alright, so the default state for our set results will be an array. Alright, so now where is our popover? Where is our modal window? We have not imported it yet, so we have not undo that. So we need to add it here. So we are gonna import our. So it's missing some mandatory props that we need to pass to our modal window. So first is the anchor. So that will be our search anchor that we created in state earlier, and then data. So that will be the results from useState. And then we need a close handler. So undo close. What are we closing? Search engine result page. We've not defined this, so let's go ahead and define the undo close. Okay, it's a function, and then the function does not take any argument. It does not return any value. So what does it do? It set up search text back to straight. It clears the search text and then clears our search anchor too. So that's that. We can now go ahead and run this application and see if our modal window is actually working. So let me run the application. Remember I said it's a Next.js application. So I'm going to use yarn dev to run. Okay, so this is the portfolio website running on my local host. And this is our text field, our search bar. So if I type AWS and I click this, it should open the modal window. So there's no search result, and we have not, this is just the default that we put as a placeholder in the modal window. We've not styled the modal window and we've not done anything to it.